Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And today we are building a Hobbit hole. I am so inexplicably excited about this build because if you guys are in my Discord or if you've seen me over on Twitter lately, Lord of the Rings is basically my interest right now. It kind of comes... It's cyclical. It comes and goes. So it's either like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or something else entirely different. And pretty soon, like I'm guessing in the next month or two, I'm not going to be on the Lord of the Rings kick. I'm assuming so. I'll probably jump back to Harry Potter at some point, but that's basically how my mind works. And I really wanted to build a Hobbit hole. I have been watching the extended cuts of the movies for like 2 or 3 weeks now. I know that there is like an anime series that's in the works for Lord of the Rings. There's also another TV show that's in the works where the budget is like astronomical already because they had to pay like $200 million just for the rights to Lord of the Rings on top of the actual budget for the show. It's amazing. So I'm in deep right now. I'm also reading the books. I've never read the books before. I've read The Hobbit, so that is something I'm rereading, but then I plan on reading the actual trilogy. So I am all in. And we also got the announcement for the Sims 4 Cottage Living expansion pack, so when they were posting all of the teasers, I was just sitting there being like, give me hobbits. I knew we weren't going to get anything like that. I knew it was going to be something a little bit more rural, right? And connected to nature, because that was the whole plug, right? Bond with nature in this new expansion pack. And I was like, if we get hobbits, I swear to God, I'm going to be so excited. I knew we wouldn't, but it basically inspired me to want to try to build a Hobbit hole. I know that people have definitely done this before, and I didn't know how they did it. Like, I have no idea. This was all a huge experiment. I just knew that I was likely going to have to use a lot of plants, which I did. I cut out like half of the plants that I placed in the actual footage because it took so long. I wasn't using the tool mod to do this at all, by the way. I was just doing the move objects on cheat, and I was using Alt 9, I think it is, or Control 9, whatever it is, the hotkeys for PC, to just raise objects. And that's all I did to create all of this greenery on top of the grass roof, which thank goodness with Eco Lifestyle, we got the glass roof, or not glass, the grass root. I can't even talk. The grass roof texture. I don't know what is wrong with me. I'm just very excited for this. And if my voice sounds a little off, I'm not sick right now, but I do feel as though my throat is a little bit dry, so I apologize if I'm sounding a little rough, but I am very excited, so I hope it doesn't take away from that. But you can see here that I am placing a ton of plants. The only thing that I did use the tool mod for was to take those rocks that are kind of surrounding the lot, and I did lower them in because I did use terrain manipulation. I also used the tool mod there you saw to kind of lower those patches of grass too, because they will kind of clip to a higher elevation if you're using terrain tools. But here's the finished product of the actual house on the exterior. I freaking love it so much. It's so overgrown and kind of crazy. I think a lot of the Hobbit holes probably just had like a ton of flowers growing over them because they're kind of built into the hills, if you guys didn't know that. And you know, I think a lot of the structures, such as like the doors and windows and things like that, are supposed to be rounded. So I did use some rounded windows, but we don't have a round door. So I couldn't use that. So I used this one from Jungle Adventure just because in The Hobbit, now I'm only like a couple chapters in, but they're kind of explaining Hobbit holes and they're like very intricate, like wood paneling on the interiors. And I don't know, it was the only door that I thought would match, but here I am placing a few things outside. I did put what is that called? The drying rack. That is not what it is. The clothesline. The clothesline and like the tub, because I would think that hobbits probably don't have electricity, right? Like I think we're all on the same page with that. They don't have electricity. This was in Middle Earth, so that wasn't even a thing yet. Anyway, so I did put those laundry items out here. Now, I was thinking of making this lot an off-the-grid lot, and I think you could do that. You might have to swap out maybe a light or two, but most of the appliances, I think, would be functional off the grid. Now, the only thing is that there is a TV in this build because I'm thinking about actual playability in The Sims as well. You want your Sims to be able to do something. So I did use the TV from eco lifestyle, and I just put it on top of a dresser, so it just looks a little bit older and kind of fits in a bit more. But if you wanted this to be functional off the grid, you could make a couple of changes and I think it would work just fine. But we are now on to the interior. So this is technically a tiny home as well. So you do get additional benefits from this being a tiny home residential lot. And the bedroom is only for one sim. So I was only thinking one little hobbit lived here in his little hobbit hole, and like he loves knitting and he loves cooking, and he always has like a keg on tap for whenever people pop by, and he loves coffee and tea and all this stuff. And I'm just so enthralled with the universe of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit right now. So hopefully you guys are also fans of that fantasy world, because I'm just very excited about this. But this is going to be the little bedroom, so it is just a single bed, and I thought that this one from Cats and Dogs worked really nicely because it kind of has this older looking quilt on it, which totally fits the vibe for Hobbit holes and Lord of the Rings and things like that in the Shire. And then this is the dresser and the TV that I was mentioning earlier. So your sim can relax in bed and just watch TV, which I thought was really nice. And I tried to use, like I mentioned, a lot of things that would be functional off the grid. So I believe that that oil lamp that is base game, that is functional off the grid. Any like lanterns and candles are functional too. Now, I haven't played with the off the grid feature too much. I think I've only made like one off the grid home ever in The Sims. So I didn't filter to those objects either. I believe we have a filter in game for off the grid, and I didn't use that. So I'm just trying to reiterate that if you want it off the grid, you might just have to make a few changes. But this is going to be the kitchen, and it is really small. There is only going to be one countertop, I believe the corner countertop, for your Sims to be able to use and prepare food, because I wanted there to be a small sitting area as well as a full dining table, which kind of blew my mind that this is a tiny home and I actually had a lot of room to play around with, at least what I felt was a lot of room, especially considering that I was trying to really just focus on making this quote unquote authentic. Like, I know that they probably would have a little bit of a bigger kitchen. Like, the book describes that all of the rooms are just connected by rounded tunnels, which is why I used that archway from Realm of Magic. I thought it kind of showed that because, like I said, we don't have a lot of rounded like doors or anything, but this window from Realm of Magic in the back was really nice too. And I just put a couple of armchairs here that look a little bit older from Cats and Dogs, as well as a few bookshelves and then a console table. So there aren't that many activities per se out in the living space, but it's a fully functional lot, and that's all that matters. And you can of course add or take away anything that you would like if you want to download this lot. But there were tons of plants too. I just wanted it to be a place where you could bond with nature, right? Like, that's the whole point. And on that note, how are you guys feeling about that trailer? I watched it probably 5 to 6 times already. I am very excited for cows and bunnies and foxes. And what else do we get? Llamas. Is there anything else? Animal-wise, I think that's it. Oh, did I already say cows? I already said cows. I'm just very excited. Agnes Crumplebottom, our angry woman with the purse, is back, which I am stoked for. And it just looks like a really, really cute pack. I may not be too big into little like thatched cottages and whatnot. It may not be my thing, but I can't wait to see what the build and buy looks like for this. I'm very, very excited. I already pre-ordered, so if you guys didn't know, if you pre-order before September 2nd, I believe they said, you get 3 bonus objects in your game. There's like a bike, there's a gnome statue, and a tree. So if that interests you, you can definitely pre-order before that time, but the pack is set to release on July 22nd. As I say all this too, this isn't promotion that I was asked to do in any way, shape, or form. This is literally just me giving you information because I already pre-ordered. I'm very excited for it, and I can't wait for the live streams and to learn more about it. But it looks really, really cute, and I do know that all those pets, they don't take up a slot in your household. Sim Guru Romeo, I believe, was answering tons of questions after the trailer dropped, and I retweeted probably like 20 of his responses just to like spread all the information out there because it wasn't centralized all in one place. So I thought that might be kind of nice for you guys to explore, but I think a lot of other sites have kind of compiled everything at this point and I don't know, put everything together that we do know already. But you can see here I'm cluttering up the kitchen, and I did use this little keg from base game because hobbits really enjoy drinking beer. that is something that we read about in the books and we see in the movies. And I wanted to make sure that I put a keg there because I thought that was really cute and reminiscent to make it a little bit more authentic. There's also a little kettle because they love their tea and their coffee. And what else did I put in here that I thought was like tipping my hat to actual hobbits? I think that was pretty much it, but I'm just cluttering up these shelves here. I thought that the open shelves looked a little bit better than putting cabinets just because it was such a small, awkward space and the window was right there and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And there's also just, I don't know, random things everywhere that look like they were either handmade or older, passed down from generation to generation. And I loved those chairs for the dining table that came with Outdoor Retreat, I believe. It's like the Hobbit that lives here made them himself. I thought it was so freaking cute. I just love this so much. I'm very proud of this one, so I hope you guys do enjoy it. And I apologize if this voiceover was a bit rambly or if I sound sick yet again. But anyway, we are pretty much done with the living space. We are just working on the bathroom now, which is very simple, nothing exciting whatsoever. And then that is actually pretty much it for the build. So I hope you guys did enjoy this one. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this one, and I will catch you next time I post a video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!